Good morning. I'm Allison Barish. My pronouns are she and her, and I am the worship associate today. I'm pleased to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Huntington, which we also call the UUFH. Hello to those who are watching on Zoom now or later on YouTube. I'd like to extend a special welcome today to newcomers. If you are new to our congregation and want to speak to someone to learn more about us, please visit our welcome table in the social hall or speak to one of the greeters you met on the way in. Today is our final summer service. As we settle into worship, know that whoever you are, whomever you love, and wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. A special request for today, since we are doing a service about sound and we want you to get the full effect, I would like to ask if you are able to move to the first maybe 4 or 5 rows, just so we can be a little tighter. Thank you, I appreciate that. And while you're getting resettled, I will tell you about our speaker today is Andrea Ganella. Andrea is a professional musician, a certified music educator, and a sound bath artist who weaves together jazz, mindfulness, and vibrational therapy to create transformative experiences. With a strong foundation in jazz harmony, her emotionally expressive and soulful sound baths are designed to calm the mind and nourish the spirit. Inspired by the healing power of sound she discovered during early motherhood, Andrea founded Notes and Nirvana, a therapeutic music practice with a mission to make meditation more accessible. Her work has been featured in professional conferences including NISMA, the Balanced Mind and Curriculum Conference, and the Metropolitan Youth Orchestra's Singular Sunday. Andrea leads sound baths in a wide range of settings, from wellness studios and libraries to corporate environments like law firms. She lives in Oyster Bay with her partner and 2 daughters, where she embraces mindful, meditative moments in everyday life.
Thank you, Allison, and thank you for everyone for agreeing to move up. I know it was a big ask. Good morning. My name is Andrea Ganella. My pronouns are she or they. In a little bit, I will be sharing some of my journey with you, part personal story, part spiritual reflection, and part science lesson about how sound and silence can transform us. Together, we'll explore the practice of sound bath, meditation, what it is, how it works, and why it matters for us as Unitarian Universalists. I'll talk about my own path, how music, meditation, and some pivotal moments in my life led me towards this practice. We'll look at the wisdom of our UU principles, the voices of poets and teachers who remind us the importance of listening, and even the ways science affirms what many of us already feel, that sound has the power to soothe, to heal, and to connect. Most importantly, I invite you to reflect on what this means for you, not just here in this hour together, but in the noisy, complicated world we return to once we leave. Because at its heart, this isn't only about meditation. It's about how we live, how we love, and how we learn to listen more deeply to ourselves, to one another, and to the great harmony of which we are all a part.
This morning, Connie and Robin will light our chalice. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. We kindle the flame of our faith in the cup of our covenant. Our chalice lighting words today are from Martin Luther King. Life, at its best, is a creative synthesis of opposites in fruitful harmony. Awesome. Thank you. Please stand in body or in spirit and join in our opening hymn, Come Sing a Song With Me, number 346 in the Gray Hymnals. Well, we're going to sing again. I invite you to join in singing our UUFH affirmation together. The words are on the screen. At this time, our moments of the heart, you are invited to light a candle for something deep in your heart. Mary Bly, today's pastoral care associate, will join us at the candles in the front and has a basket for cards for joys and concerns you'd like shared with the congregation. She also has blank cards and pens if you'd like to write something now. Please be mindful to only share your own news, share with permission, or share without names. As the music plays, I invite you to come forward or to go to the candle table in the back. Jim and Christina are mourning the death of Jim's uncle, the Reverend Ed Henry, at age 99. Uncle Ed was the last of his generation, which included Jim's dad and his 8 siblings and their spouses. Reverend Ed was a 4th-generation Methodist minister in Kentucky, served 11 churches, and leaves behind 3 children and 10 grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Uncle Ed always had a positive outlook and was an indefatigable outdoorsman, backpacker, and photographer, despite childhood polio, which never slowed him down. Wow. Pray to the end of starvation of Palestinian children in Gaza. We lost our precious dog, Lucky, this week. She was our sole dog, and we will miss her forever. And with joy and appreciation for this beautiful weather we're having, and looking forward to the start of the school year, and back to teaching. I invite you in a moment of silence now for these intentions and for others that we hold close. Now we will sing Spirit of Life together. The words are on the screen.
So the time for all ages today is going to be a 5-minute chair yoga, because before I do or I conduct a sound bath, I like people to move a little bit just to get some wiggles out, because it is a period of sitting still for a while when we get into the sound bath in a little bit. So you can participate as you're able to, and Jim is going to play that video now.
Welcome to the seated stretch, where we are going to take a brief break from work maybe, or just sneak in a little bit of yoga into your day if needed. My name is Heather, and let's all get started by scooting up onto the edge of our seat, feet grounded into the floor, if you can reach, and interlace both hands together. Open up the palms and send them forward and then up. Inhale and exhale, lean to the right. Inhale back to center and exhale to the left. Inhale, take it back to center, and then just bring your palms to the back of your head. One more inhale first, and then exhale, dip the chin in, back of the neck long. Just to get a neck stretch in. Bring the head back up, Release the hands and just bring them right behind your back to interlace them again. You can even try interlacing with the opposite finger on top this time. Great yoga for the brain as well. And bring both hands to one side of your waist. So let's bring them to the left side first, and then tilt the head to the left. And then bring both fists, both hands to the right side of the waist this time. Tilt the head to the right. Come back up, keep those hands interlaced, and let's roll back the shoulders, open up through the chest, maybe even slightly look up. Fists come down, and then if you would like to fold forward, fold forward. Inhale to come up. Release the hands from one another. You can shake out the wrists a little bit, and even open and close the fists a few times. And then bring the right knee into the chest. Flex through that foot. Cross it over the left knee. From here, inhale, send both hands up high to the sky. And exhale, bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Left hand comes to the back of your chair and twist. You come forward, release, knee back into the chest first, and then bring it down. Let's just switch. So bring the left knee into the chest this time. Flex through that foot, cross it over the right knee, and both hands come up once more. Inhale, and exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to the inside of the left sole, right hand on the back of the chair. Untwist, come forward, knee into the chest, and then release. Extend one leg out and then the other, just shaking everything out. And then find a moment of stillness before you end your practice, your mini practice. Hands can come to thighs or in the lap. And close the eyes for a moment. Take a quick seated shavasana. Maybe take 3 deep breaths by yourself before you just jump right back into your day. Thank you so much, as always, for practicing with me. Have a wonderful one, and namaste.
Our reading today is The Cure for It All by Julia Fehrenbacher. Go gently today. Don't hurry or think about the next thing. Walk with the quiet trees. Can you believe how brave they are? How kind? Model your life after theirs. Blow kisses at yourself in the mirror, especially when you think you've messed up. Forgive yourself for not meeting your unreasonable expectations. You are human, not God. Don't be so arrogant. Praise fresh air, clean water, good dogs. Spin something from joy. Open a window, even if it's cold outside. Sit. Close your eyes. Breathe. Allow the river of it all to pulse through eyelashes, fingertips, bare toes. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe until you feel your bigness, until the sun rises in your veins. Breathe until you stop needing anything to be different.
Since our theme is sound and meditation, I would like to begin with a short poem by Diego Perez. It's called The Stillness. On still waters, when love lingered onto frustration, find in me room to breathe, quiet my spirit into shadow, make light a place of rest, sleep in and calm the storm, and calm the storm. I invite you now to close your eyes, take in a slow, deep breath, and then let it go gently. Now listen. The sound rings out, lingers and fades. It does not end abruptly. Instead, it ripples through the room, through your body, until finally dissolving into silence. This is the invitation of a sound bath, to rest in the resonance, to allow vibrations to move through us, and to discover meaning, not only in sound, but also in the silence that follows. And I believe that this is an invitation of our Unitarian Universalist faith to pause, to listen, and to notice how deeply we are connected, both to music and to the music of our lives. I'm just gonna put this down. Raise your hand if you've ever been to a sound bath before. Has anyone been to a sound bath? All right, so we have a few people that are familiar. And if you haven't, then you're going to get one today. So, surprise. We draw wisdom from many streams: science, philosophy, poetry, and the spiritual traditions of the world. We listen for truth whenever it is spoken. Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of our great UU ancestors, once wrote, "Let us be silent, that we may hear the whispers of the gods." His reminder is timeless, that stillness and the art of listening are themselves sacred practices. My own journey into meditation began a decade ago. At that time, I was struggling, carrying anxiety, depression, loneliness, and the heavy work of self-acceptance. I signed up for a yoga teacher training program, not because I knew one thing about yoga, but because I was searching. I remember one of the first classes lying in Shavasana, which is the quiet rest at the end of yoga. The room grew silent, my body finally grew still, and to my surprise, I began crying. At first I was embarrassed, but later I learned that this is not unusual. So much of our lives are spent rushing from one obligation to another, multitasking, moving in the constant hum of noise. Our bodies become strangers to stillness, and when we finally slow down long enough to feel emotions, it can be uncomfortable and even frightening. So this was a release, a doorway, and an awakening. That experience taught me something essential, that silence, stillness, and sound together can open spaces within us that we didn't even know were waiting. They can help us touch the most tender places and remind us that living with love for ourselves and for one another is possible. But the truth is, growth is not in a straight line. Even as I developed my own meditation practice and began learning more about myself, it ultimately took two monumental events in my life to bring me fully into alignment: the death of a mentor and also the birth of my daughter. After my mentor died, I turned instinctively to music for comfort. Music became a lifeline, a companion in my grief, and a way of expressing what words could not. And then years later, after my daughter was born, something shifted again. Becoming a parent opened up a new depth of vulnerability and courage. And it was then that I finally felt strength to come out as gay after nearly 30 years. And it was also then that I discovered sound bath meditation. What began as a search for comfort became a profound spiritual practice that in part healed me and invited me to live more authentically. Though my background is in music composition and performance, a sound bath is not a concert, and it's not really even a performance. It's a type of meditation, an immersive listening experience, often with instruments such as singing bowls, chimes, gongs, and even the human voice. Instead of a melody or rhythm to follow, you simply let yourself be bathed in layers of sound and vibration. Your mind may wander, your body may relax in ways you didn't know it needed, and you may feel an array of emotions that both sometimes disturb and comfort. The sound moves through you, around you, and eventually leads to silence, which is an act of mindful listening. So you may be wondering, why does this matter for Unitarian Universalists? And our first principle calls us to affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Honoring someone's worth includes honoring their need for rest, healing, and restoration. In a world that pushes constant productivity, taking time to pause in a sound bath can be a radical act of self-compassion. Our seventh principle calls us to respect the interdependent web of existence, and sound makes that tangible. Strike a bowl like we just did, and the vibration is not contained in the bowl. It ripples through the air, the floor, and every body in the room. None of us are able to become separate from those waves, and we are able to live in resonance. And our fourth principle calls us to a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. A sound bath is not about telling you what to believe. It's about creating space where you can listen and find your own inner wisdom. This translation of a poem by Rumi, a 13th century Persian poet, can give us an important visual of how emotions come and go through us as guests during times of quiet and stillness if we listen. The poem goes like this. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house, empty its furniture, still. Treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Music itself is defined by a combination of sounds and silences, combined in a way to produce beauty in the form of harmony. Without knowing sound, we would not know silence. So silence is not an escape. It is preparation for living more fully, for listening more deeply, and for being ready to act with compassion. Of course, as Unitarian Universalists, we also look to science, and the science of sound can be fascinating. Research shows that sound therapy lowers your cortisol level, the stress hormone that keeps our body constantly alert. The gentle vibrations of instruments like singing bowls and gongs stimulate the vagus nerve, which helps to calm our nervous system, slow the heart rate, and steady the breath. And studies have shown that brain waves, when we enter a sound bath, our minds often shift from the busy beta state, the rhythm of planning, worrying, and problem solving, into a slower alpha state. which are associated with creativity, intuition, and deep rest. Some researchers even compare this state to the early stages of sleep or the profound stillness in meditation. Think of it this way. Our nervous system is like a string instrument. Over time, through stress, the strings can grow tight and brittle and out of tune. The sound bath doesn't fix everything, but it acts as a gentle tuning fork, bringing us back into alignment, softening the tension, and restoring harmony both in our bodies and minds. The accessibility and popularity of sound baths across genders, age groups, various organizations always amazes me. Within 1 week, I could be giving a sound bath to a group of disabled adults, a group of lawyers, an LGBT group, or a group of elementary school students with all really similar reactions. I've been lucky that people have come up and shared their sound bath experiences. One man spoke to me recently saying that the sound bath gave him a safe place to experience his feelings. Another woman told me that during a sound bath, one of the instruments sounded like a rainstorm she experienced as a little girl, and she instinctively pulled up her blanket, imagining herself back in bed as a child. I have been learning that the instruments, the vibrations, are not just abstract sounds. They are threads of connection, weaving back to love, memory, and belonging. In many ways, sound is a metaphor for our life together as a congregation. Each of us is a note, distinct and unique. On our own, we may sound beautiful, or we could feel small, but together, when we let our vibrations blend, we can create harmony. Sometimes it's smooth and consonant, sometimes it's dissonant, but it's always alive, always is richer than any one single note. Forrest Church, a 20th century UU theologian, put it this way: the cathedral of the world has 1 million stained glass windows. Each one tells a story. Taken together, they throw their light into the world, and no one of us can see it all, but we are all illuminated by it. Each of us is a window, a note, and together we create something beautiful and special. The practice of meditation, especially sound bath meditation, has value far beyond the time that we're lying still. It's not only about what happens in the moment, but it's a training for life. We practice calm in quiet spaces so that when chaos comes, we have something steady to lean on. Let me give you an example. Many of you may remember Reverend Deborah's sermon on anxiety when she shared with us her fear of escalators and how she worked through it with a therapist. Anyone remember that one? Yes. At the time, I thought to myself, I'm anxious about a lot of things, but escalators? No, definitely not me. And in fact, my daughter, Robin, loved escalators. When she was little, we would ride up and down them for fun, sometimes a half a dozen times in a row. So one day we were at Macy's, arms full of shopping bags, about to head down the escalator. I stepped on and told Robin, who was about 4 at the time, to get behind me. I didn't think twice about it. Remember, she loved riding escalators. But when I looked back halfway down, she wasn't on. She was at the top, frozen, wide-eyed, and panicked. And then suddenly I was panicked, imagining her alone in a department store while I was carried farther down the escalator. I spun around and started sprinting up the escalator, bags flying everywhere. Somehow, I made it to the top and leapt onto the landing. I was feeling triumphant, heroic even. But Robin did not look relieved. In fact, she was horrified. And that's when I saw it. Blood pouring down my leg. The escalator had sliced my knee wide open. Think a meat slicer, but less glamorous. Here's where the meditation practice started. In that moment, my body wanted to shut down. I wanted to faint or freak out. But years of practice whispered otherwise. Breathe, stay calm, and focus on the next step. So I did. I asked for help without panicking, calling over an elderly couple to help with Robin. I kept breathing. And when Macy's first aid staff turned out to be completely clueless, not surprising, I even managed to clean my bandage and bandage my own knee until I could get to urgent care. Thankfully, my partner Connie picked up Robin when I headed to get stitches. And this is where the story takes a turn from reflective to ridiculous. After the nurse put in about 10 stitches, I said, "This was my first time getting stitches." She smiled back at me and said, "Oh wow, what a coincidence. This was my first time doing stitches." The scar's still there. So, what did I learn? First, Reverend Deborah was right. Never trust an escalator. Second, always check who's holding the needle. But most importantly, I learned that meditation really does prepare us for life, not by erasing fear or pain, but by giving us space to respond instead of reacting. Enough calm to stay steady when life quite literally cuts you open. And this world around us has loud, scary things. Demands are constant. But there is a way of healing by leading with self-love, deep listening, and resting in sound and silence, and remembering our interconnection. May we as a community become like a great singing bowl, resonant, spacious, and full of harmony. And may we hold one another in sacred sound. And remember, in the words of Emerson, that sometimes the soul's emphasis is always right, if only we learn to listen. And now we're going to do a sound bath. So if you want to come up closer, if you haven't already, there'll be more sound in this area. And we're going to get started. Started by gently closing our eyes, finding the most comfortable seat, noticing if you're carrying any tension in your body. And then we're going to do some rhythmic breathing. So we're going to breathe in for 4 deep. Hold your breath for 4 deep. And then breathe out for 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can bring your breath back to its natural rhythm. And then draw your attention to the sounds that you hear. And allow your eyes to close gently if they aren't already. Thank you for sharing in a sound bath, a moment of sound bath. Apologize for the feedback a little bit. But I hope you guys enjoyed the first sound bath experience. And yeah, Allison is gonna finish up.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Each week we have an offering for our split plate program. That means undesignated donations are split between the UUFH and the Charity of the Month unless you indicate otherwise. This month we're supporting Engage Long Island, which was originally created as Long Islanders for Gun Safety in response to the tragedy in Parkland. Some of their recent initiatives and events that have required funding include painting canvas tote bags filled with toiletries for Jericho Cares, North Shore Soup Kitchen, and immigrant mothers and blanket making for Long Island Coalition for the Homeless. Ushers will be passing the baskets while Dylan plays. For those of you at home, you can send a check to the office or donate through the website. Thank you all for the support of the work we do within and beyond these walls. Please stand in body and spirit and join in our closing hymn, number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning.
Our closing words are by Fiona Coaforid Jesperson. May you find the balance you desire and need, light and dark, spirit and body, mind and soul. May you recognize the gradual, powerful rebirth happening within you. May you awaken to the potential and the blossoming of your own self. And like the wild geese, may you find your way home. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea, Dylan, for centering our Labor Day weekend. I have just a few announcements. It's a big week coming up for UUFH. On Friday evening, September 5th, Reverend Israel will be holding a community conversation and meet and greet in the social hall at 7:30. All ages are welcome. Please join us for our first opportunity to meet Reverend Israel. Light refreshments and desserts will be available, and if you are able, please bring a dessert. And next Sunday, September 7th, is In Gathering, our annual Homecoming Sunday. We'll celebrate with our water ceremony, honoring how the many streams of our lives flow together in this place of connection and renewal. Bring water from home or from a place meaningful to you, or use the water we have available. And importantly, our thank you of the month goes to Jason Durazio, who navigated a very tricky property insurance coverage problem over the summer. You can read about it in the flash, but in short, you didn't hear about it because it didn't become a huge problem, and he solved it. Thank you, Jason. You'll see this and more information in our weekly e-newsletter, The Flash. Sign up at uufh.org. Thank you all, and have a great weekend.